A potentially historic wildfire has burned more than 176,000 acres in New Mexico. The Hermits Peak and Calf Canyon fires, located just north of Las Vegas, New Mexico, merged into one giant blaze. It's currently the largest fire burning in the Southwest and the second largest fire in the state's history. As of Sunday, there was more than 1,400 personnel working the fire with containment levels hovering just above 20%. I've never seen anything like this. And the people that I work with, who've been doing this for 30 years, have never seen anything like what's been predicted for the week ahead, Andy Leone with the Southwest Incident Management Team says. Record heat, strong winds up to 60 miles per hour and low humidity continue to create extreme fire conditions, making it challenging for firefighters to contain it. The National Weather Service reported major damage a few miles west of Durham, North Carolina, following a confirmed tornado on Friday evening, including damage to one building where at least 30 people were taking shelter. A strong line of storms entered Orange County just before 5 p.m. local time, on Friday. The severe weather came from a cold front that was moving east over the state, which also brought hail and damaging wind gusts to North Carolina and the surrounding states. The majority of the damage occurred around Mabin, a city roughly 20 miles from Durham. In addition, several structures were damaged in the East Washington Street area in Mabin, according to the Orange County government. The Gildan Distribution Center on East Washington Street in Mabin was impacted by possible tornado damage as a result of the storm. As the tornadic storm struck the plant, large chunks of the wall were ripped off. Pieces of the building could be seen dangling to the side and the interior of the building was exposed in some places, according to photos posted by 30 people were working inside the distribution center as the storm tore through, but no injuries were reported. A dust storm in Iraq created apocalyptic scenes, dealt a significant blow to air quality and sent thousands of people to local hospitals this week. Forecasters say while Iraq has dealt with numerous dust storms this spring, a combination of atmospheric factors led to a particularly potent storm on Thursday. More than 5,000 people in total across at least 6 of Iraq's 18 provinces have been treated at area hospitals for respiratory issues, and at least one person has died this week following an intense dust storm. The most recent dust storm Thursday morning was caused by a front dropping across Iraq. The gusty wind that occurred with the passage of the front kicked up the dust storm, greatly reducing visibilities and causing unhealthy air quality. SpaceX rocket launch leaves space jellyfish in its wake. The extraordinary alien-looking cloud that was spotted over the southeast before sunrise on Friday can be explained, experts say. SpaceX successfully launched its Falcon 9 rocket before dawn on Friday, carrying 53 new Starlink Internet satellites into space. Early morning stargazers across the southeast were able to catch a view of the rocket launch and the stunning, out-of-this-world cloud it left behind. The rocket successfully lifted off from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida, at 5:42 a.m. EDT Friday, leaving behind an illuminated trail that many now refer to as a space jellyfish. Quote, "The seemingly unearthly cloud is a stunning sight for those who see it, with luminous hues of blue and orange trailed by the angelic glow of the sun hitting the rocket exhaust in the pre-dawn hours. As the rocket travels overhead, a glowing cosmic trail is left behind for all who are awake to see it." Huge swarms of locusts have attacked dozens of countries in Africa and Asia, and a state of emergency has been declared in Somalia. An unprecedented locust infestation in East Africa could cause a massive famine that would affect up to 5 million people and bring up to 10% of the world's population to the brink of survival. Heavy rains that have fallen on usually arid areas of the continent have created conditions for the uncontrolled reproduction of insects. Mass attacks on greenery. Ika. In northern Kenya, swarms of locusts reached a size of 40 by 60 kilometers, 24 times the size of Paris. Not only do the insects devour crops and herbaceous plants, depriving people and animals of food, they do not refuse fabrics and cotton clothes, in general all to one. The hungry insects move very quickly, they can easily travel more than 100 kilometers in a day. It takes them only a few days to reach another country. For example, in 1998, locusts from North Africa crossed the Atlantic and attacked the Caribbean and South America. The first solar eclipse of 2022, albeit partial, occurred on April 30, and now a total eclipse of the Moon is approaching. At this point, the Earth's satellite takes on a reddish hue. Astronomers expect this event on May 16. The full phase will occur at 7:13. Eclipse will be able to admire almost all of America. It will also be visible from the Antarctic zone and the eastern Pacific regions. Observers from the Near East, Eastern Europe, and New Zealand will have to settle for a penumbra eclipse, in which only part of the Moon is obscured by the Earth's shadow. Hundreds of plant species and tiny animals have made a home in the open ocean, building colonies on clumps of plastic. The coastal creatures now live hundreds of kilometers off the coastline in the subtropical Pacific Ocean. The accumulation of plastic, known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, was formed when spinning currents carried waste from the coast into open waters. The subtropical Pacific Ocean gyre between California and Hawaii contains about 79,000 tons of plastic. Scientists found that about 300 species of marine creatures drifted across the Pacific Ocean on the debris for several years. It turned out that many coastal animals and plants, including anemones, hydroids, and shrimp-like amphipods, were not just living, but even thriving on the marine plastic. The open ocean was long considered unsuitable for coastal organisms because it was a food desert. Plastic provides habitat for many creatures and acts as a reef to attract animals. Experts believe that moving species long distances can change ocean ecosystems that have remained untouched for thousands of years. Imperial penguins living in Antarctica are in danger of extinction. This may happen in the next 30 to 40 years, warn scientists at the Argentine Antarctic Institute. Climate change, which melts the glaciers, is to blame. The fact that birds breed from April to December. They need solid ice to nest their chicks. If the water freezes later or melts prematurely, their offspring will simply die. According to researchers, the disappearance of the penguins will have serious consequences for the entire continent, leading to an even greater reduction in food chains.